G'day, and welcome to my Wealthy Wanderers. So today I wanted to give a travel tip, and it actually comes from a member who's asked a few questions, which are great questions, and I thought it might be something that everyone wants to find an answer to. So she's asked, have we ever had any medical emergencies in the 5 years that we've been traveling? And does it worry you? And what do we do in regards to our regular medical checkups? So three great questions. So have we had any medical emergencies in the last 5 years? Yes, we have. And so I've had, let's see, actually before I started traveling permanently, when I was traveling by myself, I had a medical emergency in the US, and I had an infection in my tooth that had swollen up, and it was really huge, and I had to go into emergency. I was in excruciating pain. And that was an interesting experience because I was in emergency for a short time, got an injection, got some painkillers, prescription, and that was it. And that cost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I can't remember exactly how much the bill was, but I was really blessed because basically I said, well, this is all I've got. And then they went, okay, that will do. And it was much smaller. Now, I don't know if you can do that these days, but I think they were just happy to get payment because I was Australian, and back then there weren't, many Australians there. So I guess they were glad to get something payment for it. The other medical emergency I've had is I had to go to emergency in England for a personal sort of female issue, I suppose, and it's the easiest way to describe it. And once again, I was in a lot of pain, so we did have to go to emergency, and we were treated really, really well. It was an easy process, and we expected to have to pay a big bill at the end of it, and only to discover that because of the agreement between Australia and England, that it was all actually free. And so that was a really amazing thing. It pays to do your research. And the other thing is I've had also some dental surgery in Bali that had to happen quickly. I think I chipped my tooth or something, or top chemical or something like that. And I got to experience the dental hospital in Bali, which was incredible. They were so efficient. Everything was really clean. They were on time, which is pretty rare, and from where I'm from. And also it was very, very reasonably cost, and that was covered by our insurance. So we decided to claim that on our travel insurance. And the last one was also dental, and I lost the crown in the front of my tooth in France, and I had to do something about it quite quickly because it was right at the front, couldn't go anywhere. And so we went into booked an appointment in the dentist, and although we didn't speak French, we all managed to work out kind of what was going on. They were so gentle, so kind. And I think that was even under $100. That was, or something, was really low amount. So we didn't claim that on insurance. Wonderful experience, still in there, still working great. So those are the emergencies that we've had. Does it worry us in regards to things happening? Yes, in a way it does, but we don't let it stop us from traveling. We just find solutions. And I guess, where we are right now, Mexico, I don't really want to end up in a Mexican hospital. However, a friend of ours actually had to have quite serious surgery, heart surgery, I'm pretty sure it was. And they had a fantastic experience. Like it was really good standards and really hygienic, and it was life-saving surgery. It was fantastic. So what I think we find is that we have this image in our mind that, other medical sort of aren't the same standard as what we're used to. But, it's not easy to become a doctor. And so, I think you'd be quite surprised about the quality of care throughout the world. Obviously, there are some countries that it is different, but yeah, and I don't think you should let that stop you. I think it's just a matter of making sure that you have things in place. So with that in mind, and talking about regular medical checkups, let me talk to you about travel insurance and health insurance. So the difference between travel insurance and health insurance, two very different ones. If you think of travel insurance, it's everything to do with traveling. So if you lose your luggage, if your flights are cancelled, if you sustain an emergency injury, or some sort of emergency happens. But the thing is you've got to really, really be careful and check into the fine print as to whether you are covered or not for these sorts of emergencies. And yeah, with a lot of travel insurances, there's a lot of different ones around there. Health insurance, on the other hand, is more for your routine kind of stuff. So it's your optical, your dental, your pre-existing conditions. And that's what health insurance is for. So travel insurance, there's lots of websites out there that you can find your own travel insurance, and a lot of the same rules apply to travel insurance as to health insurance. But some people have asked in regards to local health insurance, should I get local health insurance for where I'm staying at the time? And generally, in my research, I would say no, because there's so many scams out there in different countries. And also, like a lot of it's not going to be in English. Like I know in Vietnam, contracts are not in English, they're in Vietnamese. So you've then got to trust your translator and their understanding of, the translation and everything. And I just think it's really much too risky. So what you need to look for more so is kind of worldwide coverage. And there's a few places, like if you just do a Google search for things like expatriate health plans, global healthcare, international health plans. Like if you do a search for that, you'll be able to find some different ones, international health insurance policies, and you'll find some options. And then it's a matter of really doing your research. So when you're doing your research, some of the things that you need to look for with your health insurance, which kind of apply to your travel insurance as well, but let's just talk about health insurance, is that which countries are actually covered. And which countries you're going to go to. And just because you think you're passing through a country, it's like, oh, I won't worry about putting that one on the policy. Not a good idea, because you just never know. You need to be covered. If you're going to pay for this, you might as well be covered. One of the countries that is very, very expensive in regards to health insurance is America. So if you are going into America, or if you're not going into America, make sure if you're not, that it's not in your policy, and that will bring the price down. But if you are, expect to pay a bit more. Also compare out-of-pocket costs. So have a look at what you're going to be paying, even if it's all covered with health insurance. What is your actual out-of-pocket costs? And also think about the benefits relevant to you. If you're an adventure person that loves going out, doing crazy things, jumping out of planes and doing all those sorts of stuff, then good on you, and make sure that you're covered. Make sure that your policies, both travel and health insurance, cover that. One of the things that we found interesting in our travel insurance is that we couldn't go on a scooter unless we had a full motorbike license. And I have a motorbike license, but not one to carry someone. And so we couldn't do that. So it's looking into those details, the finer details, and look at what's not covered. That's what you've got to look for. What is not covered? Because then that's where the things can go wrong. And so the most important thing to do is really to compare. My beloved, he actually is great with spreadsheets, and we do research, and we put the information into different spreadsheets, and we can see the comparisons, and that really helps in making a decision. So compare several of them, take the time to do your research, because it's super, super important. And just remember that the quality of healthcare around the world, there's varying different qualities, but a lot of them are really high standards. For example, when I was researching, there was like in Costa Rica is number 36 in the world for healthcare, and America is number 37. So that kind of gives you a bit of an idea. In Malaysia, I think they have what's called like a joint commission certificate or something with the US, and they have to have reached a certain standard in order to get that. But so a surgery that you would have in the US will be like half the price in Malaysia, and the standards have been approved by the US as being the same for the Joint Commission. So these are all things that you need to look into. And as we mature in life, these are the things that you don't have to worry so much when you're younger, unless you're doing crazy stuff. But I guess any type of travel, but more so, this health insurance, you really need to make sure that you've got that as we mature in life and things, change in our bodies. So do your research, compare them, and I hope that you've found this helpful. Thanks so much, and bye for now.